gentlemen, good morning, wherever you are, whatever time it is. Welcome back to another episode of TechyTV Gaming News. And first up, guys, we're going to be bringing you Xbox One news. Now, Inside Gaming Daily, the people over at Machinima that do your daily gaming stories, they put out a story, I believe, yesterday. And it was that they had some kind of insider information about two new SKUs that are be coming out next year for the Xbox One. They didn't really confirm it, but they kind of like, we got this inside information, we think this is going to happen. And basically the two new SKUs were one that didn't have a Kinect and one that didn't have a Kinect with a smaller hard drive. Again, the info was based on a well-placed anonymous source, they said. And then I went to a website that was talking about the story, and I believe it was on Gamefront. Yeah, and I'll post a link in the description below. You guys can read it yourself. So they had this story up, and then turns out that Microsoft heard about it, responded, and this is what they had to say about it. We have no plans to introduce an Xbox One without a Kinect. We believe in Kinect and that the value it brings to both games and entertainment, and believe $4.99 is a great value for what consumers receive with their Xbox One.
Well, you know, I kind of understand Microsoft's response here, because haven't they been pretty much defending their decision to package a Kinect? And
I mean, that's correct. They have been defending their decision to bring the Kinect with the Xbox One, and I think the whole general idea is going to be they want to incorporate the Kinect as much as possible. You know, last generation with the Xbox 360, you know, the Kinect really received this mediocre, vibe. It really wasn't what they said it was going to be.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I can understand their response just from that point of view. You know, if that information got out there, like, that would kind of undermine their prior stance on packaging the Kinect. So,
right.
I mean, no, I mean, I'm just saying I can understand why their response was seemingly like so definitively no. You know, like that's definitely not happening, because you know they can't go back on what their position was before. I mean, look at what the Xbox One, the fire it's already under, you know.
Right, sure. And and the whole purpose of the Inside Gaming Daily guys doing this story was that they believed that the Xbox One was going to receive a price drop next year to better compete with the PlayStation 4. And, obviously Microsoft spoke in their piece on it and said, no, we're not doing a Kinect-less Xbox One. And I could possibly see a smaller hard drive next year, SKU, with maybe like a $450 price tag or something like that. Maybe even a competitive $399 price tag with a tiny hard drive. But right now I just don't see that happening. And obviously Microsoft clearly states that they have no plans right now to introduce a SKU with no Kinect.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be really damaging if they kind of went back on that at this point. You know, they need to. I think right now it's kind of important for them to kind of stand firm and like try to, make a seawall against like this tide of negative press that's come at them.
Sure. And this is no hate to the Inside Daily Gaming guys. I love them. I watch their show all the time. I really enjoy their banter and their Q&A sessions they do. They're hilarious. But I just wanted to point that out. And moving on, so it was confirmed this week that, or maybe it was a while back, but I kind of just read it now. The Xbox One will record 5 minutes of your last gameplay. And the question I want to bring to you guys, is that enough? So leave your comments below about that. But the cool news is they are going to feature some basic editing tools. And I've got some news just in a few minutes about the PlayStation News also having the same thing. But from what I've seen of the editing tools on the Xbox One, they actually look pretty decent. I mean, they're not superb. They're not going to be Sony acid. But I think they look pretty cool. What do you think about that, T-Money?
In regards to the time, I don't know. I mean, how many users do you think will use that feature of the console?
I think it's going to be more like YouTube users, maybe. And it all depends. How are you going to get that? Are you going to have to share that with Twitch? Are you going to be able to upload that to YouTube? You know, what social media can you share that with? Or can you pull it straight from the actual device itself via hook up a flash drive or a external hard drive and pull it off that way? So it'll be interesting to see how you actually get that footage off of there and where you can send it to and what your options are.
I think it would be really dumb if it wasn't, you know, really easy to share it to YouTube. I mean, it should be intuitive, you know, it should just be like, you know, you click one thing. You know, 5 minutes seems a little short, I think, you know, especially for people who are trying to make playthrough videos and stuff.
Sure.
I mean, honestly, I think it seems a little short.
Right. I think it is a tad bit short, especially when I think you look at your average YouTube video and it's anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it just seems short. I think it should at least be 10 minutes.
Yeah, I would like it to be 10, but I'd like to hear what the viewers think about it. Also, a story out from a UK retailer came out and said that the Xbox One was including the headset. And then I heard a couple stories on YouTube from different guys I listened to saying that this was going to happen. Well, it turns out that was a lie. As Maury would say. However, there is a story out saying that Microsoft will be selling an adapter so you can use your old 360 headset. We'll find out if that's also going to be a lie, but so far that's what's out there. And moving on to PlayStation news, guys. So if you're a PlayStation Plus member, good news, you're going to be getting Metal Slug XX for your instant game collection for free. T-Money, have you played Metal Slug, any of the series of that?
Yeah, you know, I have. I played it in the arcade a lot too. And, you know, I always had a soft spot for that game. I don't know, I just always found it really enjoyable. I didn't play a lot of the more recent installments into the franchise, but I mean, I imagine that they're pretty much probably pretty similar to the original one.
Okay. Yeah,
I don't know.
So,
Have you played the later installments of the Metal Slug series?
No, I have not. But I think I may check this out, and I definitely, when we get a PVR or whatever, I definitely want to do maybe some recording with it just to check it out. I mean, I've seen pictures of it. I've seen trailers of other Metal Slug games, and I don't know. I'll check it out.
I mean, I know that actually, Metal Slug is one of the first WiiWare games or Wii Virtual Console games I downloaded when I got my Wii when it right when it came out.
Right.
So I mean, I played through it, really enjoyed it. It's a lot of fun to play with a friend.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I think it'd probably definitely be worth checking out.
Cool. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. And moving on, guys. So I told you earlier about the PS4 having their own gameplay recording. So there was a little bit of a controversy where a source, I believe over in Europe, said that the PlayStation 4 was going to record several minutes of your last minutes of gameplay. Well, Sony came out this week officially and said that it'll record your last 15 minutes of gameplay. I think that's really cool. Something that I'm kind of worried about, though, the devs have an option to restrict boss fights, cinematics, obviously for spoiler reasons. What do you think about that?
The time I think is great. The other stuff about the devs being able to put restrictions on what you can. Basically, are they putting restrictions on what you can capture?
Well, it's up to them. It's an option. And then it'll be more like if it's a boss fight or a spoiler cinematic, if someone was watching on YouTube or something.
I think that's a little bit extreme. You know, then to me it seems like you're kind of getting into trying to control like what media people can consume. I think, you know, if people are watching a playthrough video on YouTube, they should realize that, you know, there may be some spoilers.
You know what? I've never actually thought about that, and I actually kind of agree with you. You know, we look at editing and censoring in the world we live in now, and that never even came to my mind that, you know, that whole scenario. So
it just seems a little bizarre that they would want to have that power over. But, you know, I mean, that's my opinion. I guess
right.
I I can kind of see, where they're coming from with it, but
Sure.
again, I just feel like if you're on YouTube, if you're looking through playthrough videos, I really don't think that spoiler is what's on your mind. If it was on your mind, you'd be trying to play through the game without resorting to a playthrough video.
Especially, I guess, if you were doing a video specifically for how to do this boss fight, what to use.
Right. I mean, aren't those some of the more
Yeah, like
that's a really common type of playthrough video is, a boss fight.
Right, and I've been stuck in a game before, and I remember going to YouTube and being like, hey, how do I get past this so-and-so boss? And I watched the playthrough just to get like a basic strategy. So yeah, definitely. And some good news though, so you're going to be able to take those videos and share them on, of course, the PlayStation Network while your friends have access to them. Ustream, they're going to partner with them, so if you want to do streaming or post it to Ustream. And then they said other social media channels, so I'm not quite sure, but I'm pretty sure it'll probably be YouTube and Twitter, things like that.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
And moving on, guys, something happened this week in case you missed it. The U.S. government recognized League of Legends pro players as athletes. Now, if you don't know what League of Legends is, you've probably been living underneath a cardboard box. League of Legends is a very popular multiplayer game on the PC. I don't want to call it real-time strategy. It plays out more like World of Warcraft mixed in with an RTS, if that makes sense. But if you haven't checked it out, just go look at a video. Anyways, so I think that's kind of a cool thing. And basically the whole purpose of this is that so pro players that live in other countries can actually come here, get a working visa, and make it much easier for all the international players to attend tournaments.
I think that's great. I think it's great. I think it's just a sign of the times.
Now definitely. Now the article I read, it didn't specify whether it extended beyond League of Legends. I'm assuming it's pro players for most esports, but I think it's an awesome thing.
Yeah, I'm totally pumped about it.
And finally, guys, moving on to the last bit of news, big praise for Nintendo. The 3DS was the best-selling system in June, and a lot of that had to do with the strong lineup they had. You had Luigi's Mansion's Dark Moon, you had Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D, Fire Emblem, and then I believe in June actually was Animal Crossing New Leaf. I think it's a lot of new games out to help push the 3DS along.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of, core gamer games out for the 3DS. I actually wish I had a 3DS more than I wish I had a Wii U right now.
Oh,
just
yeah.
for the lineup.
Oh yeah, definitely, I agree. I think when you look at the total 3DS game catalog, there's some really nice core titles in there. I would like to have a 3DS and have those core titles.
And I mean, the Virtual Console is another huge part. I mean, you can download all these great classic Game Boy, and I believe you can download Game Boy Advance games, can't you?
I believe so. I'd have to double check that, but yeah.
I mean, it's, it just seems like a great system, even not considering the 3D technology. I would probably still want one.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I definitely would want the XL version to have the bigger screen.
Right, totally.
All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for us. Guys, if you like this, go ahead and hit that like button, favorite, subscribe, leave us comments in the section below. This has been Techie here.
T-Money.
And we're out. See you guys next time. Peace.
Peace.